Hey, what's going on again? Your boy Jay Zavala, the KetoXican, Mexiketo official keto guide, module 3. And on this one, we're going to talk about intermittent fasting. Okay, this is a big one. This is everybody's always talking about it. It's very popular with keto. Keto plus IF gives you the greatest results. And I personally love to fast. I mean, the results that you get from it and the feeling, it's amazing. Okay, so let's get right to it. Two types of very popular ones right now as far as with intermittent fasting. You have the 16 hours intermittent fasting with 8 hours, an 8-hour window of eating, or you could do the 20 and the 4. Okay, 4 hours of eating, 20 hours of fasting. Whichever one suits you, it's up to you. The most popular one is the 16-8, right? So what's good about intermittent fasting? So your blood sugar levels, you avoid blood sugar swings when you're intermittent fasting. The reason is because you're not consuming carbs. So people that are on carbs, that are on different diets, a standard American diet, vegan diet, there's so much sugar in their body that when they try to fast, it doesn't work out for them. When we're fasting and we're in the state of ketosis, we avoid all these swings. We don't go through all that. It's actually happy for us because we feel full. We feel full. Our sugar levels are already down and they're low. The thing is that it's satiating. So fats keep you going without foods, right? All the fat in your body, since you're already in ketosis, right? Your body starts to eat away at its own fat. When it's eating away at its own fat, it's actually promoting more of the weight loss than when you're just not, just doing a normal ketosis, lazy keto, as some of them call it. You want to go into a 16-8 or 20 hours, sometimes 24 hours if you could hang that long and do it. Let the body eat its own fats. Let it run on its own fuel. It's the cleanest fuel around, and that's going to promote faster weight loss for you. And the number one reason I like to do it is because of the autophagy. Okay, so autophagy, basically what it is that the new cells eat the old cells. Okay, they eat them up, they restore themselves, and they get rid of all the rest of it. Gets discarded as trash and it's gone and out forever, and you're basically restored. You're brand new again. And the thing about autophagy is that here's where it's at. You have to wait after the 16th hour. Once you hit the 16th hour, that's when it starts to work for you. Once you start hitting like the 24, in between 36, 48 hour mark, autophagy is at its highest level. It's actually like at, I believe, somewhere around 400% is where it's already going. And if you add coffee into it, that equation, it's known to metabolize it, so it promotes even more and it goes faster. After those 48 hours, it starts to drop and decline. They're not eating themselves anymore. They're already restored and happy with themselves. And that's what you want. HGH levels go up. Your human growth hormone level goes up. That's your fountain of youth, man. That's where it's at. So one of the things with autophagy is that I've known is all the old cells, even when you have loose skin, because loose skin is a lot of it is cells. They're dead cells, right? It starts to cure that. All of it with time. Don't expect it to happen overnight, but it does start to cure it. So when you're as you're going through the ketosis and you're going through the diet and you're losing and you're getting a little bit of the flabby skin and the little things that we don't like hanging loose and around, start practicing your fasting. Practice your fasting, get into it, and let your body start, rejuvenating itself through the cells. And another thing that it helps with is inflammation. All right. So when you're getting into it, it makes your cells smaller. Fat when our cells are inflamed, that's because they have too much fat inside of them, too much sugar inside of them, and it's known as one of the agents to cure inflammation and get inflammation out of your body and out of those cells, especially when they rejuvenate themselves and they eat themselves. All right, so there's something to really keep in mind. So look, I'm going to erase this real quick, and I'm going to tell you something about what to eat. You don't eat nothing while you're fasting, right? But what you do want to do, and I'm going to tell you what you're going to drink. The first 24 hours, if you can't go through the first 24 hours without bone broth, fine, go ahead and do it. I got adjusted to it my first time with bone broth, and then the second time I went a whole 24 hours without it, then 48 till I started to hit the 6-7 day mark. So you want to drink coffee, and we spoke about why coffee promotes, it promotes autophagy levels. So we want to drink some coffee. We need another E in here. Water, obviously. And make sure you add some salts, right? 3.5 to 4 grams of salt a day. That's what you're supposed to be normally intaking. You're going to be losing a lot of water as you're drinking water. You're going to be losing a lot of electrolytes, a lot of minerals and sodiums. So what you want to do is start drinking some salt to get those in. If you're going to take some supplements, just make sure they don't have carbs in them, because some are known to have carbs in them. Magnesium, potassium, but try to get through the first 24 hours naturally, and hopefully for the next 48 hours also. So we want to drink water, coffee, teas for the first 20. This is going to be for the first 24, 48 hours. After the first 24 to 48 hours, we want to get into you could introduce the bone broth. 24 plus hours, then you can start drinking bone broth. And drink the bone broth to break your fast. Okay? Don't go eating protein and carbs. Whatever you do, you eat carbs, you eat proteins, too much protein, that's gonna spike insulin. Okay? And if you eat carbs to break your fast, what happens is that your cells, they're awakening, and they awaken. You awaken them with carbs, and they absorb everything really quick. So what happens is that they take a lot of those carbs inside the cell itself and turn it into sugar, and you know what happens? You stop your ketosis process. So we don't want to get kicked out of keto coming in through a fast. Okay, so when you're gonna break your fast, break it with a bone broth. Add a little bit of fats in there, some MCT oil, some coconut oil, whatever oil or butter you have. Add it into the broth, and then after that, gradually start, a little piece of meat with some vegetables, some salad. You're better off with the greens, with the leafy greens. That's my recommendation to you. And this is intermittent fasting. And just be careful when you're doing your intermittent fasting. Don't try to jump in. I see a lot of people right away, they try to do, 24, 48 hours, and they've never done it before. Get through a couple of weeks doing a regular 16-8, then push it to the 20-40, and then push for the 24 hours. And start going from there. Start practicing, and join the people in the group. There's a lot of, we always have fasting challenges, and it's very supportive to know that you're not doing it alone and you're doing it with other people. So that's IF with keto. Oh, and one more thing. For the new people, get into ketosis before you start fasting. Don't fast to get into ketosis. Okay? That's dangerous, and you're still on carbs. You're still in the carb section. So you want to get into ketosis before you start doing that, so you don't feel the worst and the carb crash effects. You don't get this blood sugar swings that other people get. All right? So that's intermittent fasting for you. Zavala, KetoXican.